Hello there, Michelle G here, Bendy Stitchy. My pronouns are she, her, and today is Saturday. It's the 12th of July, and this is Flosstube number 382. What does that even mean anymore, that I'm almost at 400 floss tubes? Like, hold on, my eye twitched. That's a lot of floss tubes. Thank you for hanging out. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. I'm feeling less rusty between these fortnight floss tubes now. It feels great. Last weekend, we were up in Port Townsend, Washington, visiting my aunt, which was really nice. We saw some city deer. We counted 23 city deer on one drive about, and we went to the beach, and we did some garden touring. We went through my uncle's stuff, some of it, and that was a little cathartic and a little sad, but, you know, loss can be sad. So, anyway, this is where I talk about stitching. Before I talk about stitching, though, I have to acknowledge my earrings. These are from While Odin Sleeps, and I will link the link down below. While Odin Sleeps. I love this brand. If you watch Julie, Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World, she was wearing some of these earrings, and then she sent us a link, and she's like, there's a sale, and I was like, oh no. So I have two pairs. I wore one, I think, last time that I filmed, and so I thought I'd put this one on this week because someone commented on it last time, and I realized I didn't say anything about them, but they are fabulous. So While Odin Sleeps is what you're looking for those. And there's a couple things on sale right now, so be careful. It's easy to spend money on that site. All right, so cross stitch. I have 6 projects to show you. 2 of them are Sass, start and finish. My part is started and finished. So neither one of these are a complete cross stitch, but my part is done. They're for round robins. 1 start, which I'm counting as a start. You'll see why. And then 3 whips, works in progress. So let's do the Sass first. This one is Cinnamon and Honey from Ink Circles. So this is Abby's project. I just started filming and I'm going to sneeze. This is Abby's project. It's done with all of the called for DMC. And it's on this really beautiful piece of Aida. I don't know the dyer or the color of the Aida, but it's like this really nice, it's like a DMC, like 842 kind of that color range. And the DMCs just work really well on it. I don't really know which section I did. I think I did this section up here. Is that what my back looks like? I don't really know. I don't really know which section I did. I did one of those 3 sections. And I'm going to send it on to Heather next, and she's going to finish it off. So that's the exciting thing about these round robins is the last person to get their hands on it gets to finish it and send it back to their person. So that was fun to stitch. Cinnamon and Honey from Ink Circles. I just put that in my to send pile. This next one is also an Ink Circles round robin. This is Elemental Dragons Water. And this is on, I'm guessing that this is an Aida that Jen dyed. This is for Jen. And look how beautiful. This is all done in DMC. I don't know if it's the called for DMC or not. This is done in DMC 4240. I have the pattern here, but I can't be bothered to open it up to see if that's the called for. I don't really think you can tell, but I had a hard time deciding if I was meant to stitch with 2 strands or 1 strand, because this is my section over here that I stitched. It's a little darker than the others because of, I think, where I was pulling my flosses from. Some of this is 1 strand and some of this is 2 strand. So I prefer stitching with 1 strand, so I just went ahead and stitched my part with 1 strand. I hope Jen's okay with it because we've gone a little bit rogue on this one. It is beautiful though, and I'm fairly certain to say that Jen dyed her own Aida for this. It's beautiful. And this was a cool stitch. I loved all these, like this little dragon especially, loved that guy. So I think Jen stitched the boat in the center to get everyone started, and then 1, 2, 3. Michelle gave this to me at the Edmonton retreat. Michelle Chinook Crafter. Now I have to look. It's right here in front of me. Called for is Gloriana charcoal, but Jen put in this beautiful DMC variegated, which I love. Love it. That was a good choice. But, so that's done, and I have to post a picture of that in the Instagram group chat. Those are both for the iconic Ink Circles round robin that I'm a part of. There are 12 of us in that round robin, so I have to just post a picture, and then the next person that claims it gets to finish it. And then I'll send it on. Okay, those are my 2 SAFs, start and finish. And then for stitching Monopoly, oh, and because I had the SAFs, I did work on this is my tail end project for this year. Might last me the whole year. This is the 2025 Steady Thread Sal. So it's a Blackwork Sal and it's free. So there's a bunch of different borders to choose from. And the reason that I picked this Sal for my tail end project is because this scissor and thread border really just grabbed me. I love it. What's funny is that you can't really see an entire one of those scissors. They're like half great and half ghosty. And that's just because of the flosses that I'm using them with. Like this scissor is almost completely great. And then its top thing is light. So the steady thread, you get the border and then you get 52 spaces. So I chose to do the circles. So you get 52 circles and each week they release a pattern that goes on the inside. And I know you probably can't see a lot of the patterns great. Oh, there we go. You can probably see some of the patterns really well and some of the patterns not really well. Like this one is great. This one is great. This one is like 3/4 great. So now that I've worked on this, I understand why blackwork is called blackwork, right? Because here you can see the pattern. There in the yellow, you can't. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is to use up my tail ends and to make something interesting. So what am I going to do with it when I'm done? I don't know. I'll probably hang it on my finish hanger like I hang everything else. But I love this and I'm having a good time with it. And the blackwork is interesting and fun. So I don't have any regrets. And this is stitched on a piece of 20 count Aida that my Diana dyed. So it's like awesome and grungy and made with love. So I do actually still have to put my tail end from the dragon, the Sea Dragons piece on here, but I'm not exactly sure where I put it right now. So this just has my tail ends from, I think, maybe these 3? At least these 2 are my tail ends from Cinnamon and Honey. At least these 2. Maybe 3. I'm not totally sure. And maybe some of this too. I've lost track. It doesn't matter. I'm not keeping track. I'm just proud of myself when I get this done because blackwork is not my it's not my usual, right? So it's a stretch for me. Even though like I'm a pretty experienced cross stitcher. I cross stitch a lot. Blackwork is not my usual. But I do enjoy it very much. I think I very much enjoy doing my blackwork on Aida, and I think I could have chosen a better fabric for it. I think this fabric is maybe a little bit too busy for blackwork. So I feel like I'm learning a lot of things from the blackwork. If I'm ever going to tackle like a whole project, like Urban Stitches has really great blackwork projects. And I actually have, I don't know if I destashed them. But I actually have a few. Let me just show you. Because if you don't know Urban Stitches, so Urban Stitches is she/her blackwork designer, and so much good stuff, right? Like the one that I love a lot of hers, but she did a pirate ship for one of and she has a Patreon, of course. She did a pirate ship for one of Starlight Stitchery's boxes, and I don't know if she's since released it. But it was really, really good. Lots of Patreon stuff. Go check out her Patreon. If you like her stuff, go check out her Patreon. But I think probably most of us saw her when she was doing this Sal. This is a different one. This is Moonlit Market, but she did like a apothecary Sal. But this one's super, like, it's cool, right? And it's all backstitch. I can't find the one that I really want to find, but like, I think you can see how good these are. And it's wild, like how much depth, right? This is a flat piece of fabric and it really looks like these things have depth. It's just, I know we always say like, wow, backstitch does so much, but like her backstitch really, it's all backstitch because it's black work. So the backstitch does all the work. I can't find the one I wanted. Oh, look at this. This is wild. That's a stitch along, a finished stitch along. Anyway, I'll link the Urban Stitches in my mentions section down below. Go check her out. But that's the kind of, I think stitching this tail end project has given me the confidence to do a whole black work piece. I tried one before. It was a Leslie Tier that was in a magazine, and I just messed it up so bad. I just screwed it up so bad because I was stitching it on Lugana, and the black work lines were never, like a lot of them, it was called for to be stitched on linen or even weave because none of them adhered to the squares. And so I think that was a pretty ambitious black work piece to dive into as a beginner with zero experience in black work, and it screwed me up, and I don't remember if I unpicked it or if I just threw away the fabric, but I was mad about it. So, all right. So my next piece was a start, and I'm wicked excited about this, so I can't wait to show you. So you may or may not have heard of a little thing called X-Stitch the Rainbow. X-Stitch the Rainbow was a collaboration project that a few more than 20 of us stitchers got together at Market. Abby Topknot and Nuri at Shaded Stitchery and Arlene. I think those were the main three. And Holly, Stitchy Pros. What am I talking about? Those four, spearheaded this project. So it's called Threadworks Night Garden Palette presented by X-Stitch the Rainbow. And I just started my Twilight Moon. So I had this idea, #4 skeins to stitch them all. And I thought, because I stitched my model, this is 28 count Midnight Ride from XJU Designs. I totally stitched on the wrong side of the fabric. And I'm realizing as I go that like my design would have showed up a lot better on the right side of the fabric. We proceed. It's fine. Because I love this. I love this so much. I'm trying to pause for a picture. There you go. So, of course, Stitching Monopoly called for a new start. And when Stitching Monopoly called for a new start, I only had my model on here. So I have since started my border here and Cheryl's Twilight Moon for the #Sentimental Moon Sal that Daybreak Stitcher is hosting. So this actually, I got to stitch on this twice, I think, for Stitching Monopoly because I got it once for a new start and then I got it again for any whip with embellishments. And I was like, I don't have anything with, I don't have any whips with beads. I don't have any whips with, I do have one with etoile, or I have one with, it's not etoile. What's the other stuff that comes on the spool? I'll think of it later. But they said, the host said that overdyed floss counts. So I used this for 2 Monopoly prompts. And let me show you because I'm so proud. So, of course, I have all the accoutrement, right? Like, this is the official needle minder of X-Stitch the Rainbow. This is the official floss holder of X-Stitch the Rainbow. You can see I'm getting a little bit low on my blue floss. My piece is a little bit heavy on the blue, and these borders eat up the floss. So, DMC Diamant. That's what I was trying to say. I do have one with DMC Diamant, but I didn't want to get it out. So, anyway, let me show you my plan, because I'm obsessed with this. I think this is such a good idea. And so my plan is to... Okay, so it says freebie alert because I designed like 6 or 5 or so borders for X Stitch the Rainbow. So I designed I called this my flower border right here. So it's flowers all around. It semi-matches the flowers that are in my design. And then Cheryl, whoa, look out. Cheryl also has a couple of those flowers in her design too, which I didn't realize until I started stitching it. But anyway, so I'm calling this my flower border. So I designed a flower border. So this is over on my Patreon. And this is not behind the paywall. So on Patreon, you can have posts behind the paywall or you can have free posts. So I host not a lot, but I put up a decent number of free posts too. So you can get these borders in the X Stitch the Rainbow Facebook group, which is where I originally posted them. But someone very kindly reached out to me and said, I'm not on the Facebook, period. How do I get your borders? And she was so kind. She was like, I'm happy to pay for them. And I was like, no, free is free. So I went over to my Patreon and I set all my borders on here. So I have a single flower border right here. I have the 4 square flower border if you're going to stitch 4 of them. I also have a 4 square flower border where they're a little bit offset. So they're in a diamond pattern. So 1, 2, 1. And then I have my giant border. And I selfishly, I designed this for me because that is exactly how many I can fit on this piece of fabric I have. And then I have a plain border, just a border. And then I have this one also was my other idea for my border. And on this one, I could also get 12 because Ardith Design has 2. And her second one could have been split and put here and here. But, so this is my plan. And then I went to Canva because I love Canva and I mocked it up. Right? So mine is already down here in the bottom. I'm locked into that. It was the model. It's stitched there. I wanted to stitch Cheryl's next, so the easiest way to do that was to put hers right above mine. And then above Cheryl's is going to be Holly's, which I have here next. This one's a freebie. It's by, I forgot who it's by, but it's a freebie. And I have I have right down here, I will put next to mine and Holly's, I'll put Abby's, which I have. And actually my friend Nati stitched Abby's as like a teeny tiny piece. So I haven't decided yet if I'm going to stitch Abby's or if I'm going to stitch a different one here and like put Abby and baste the one that Nati stitched on right here. I might actually do that. I might actually like, oh, you know what I might actually do? Because Nati's is so small, I could probably fit her little ghosty right here in the center and have it be the centerpiece of it all and then put a different one there. I might do that. You heard it here first. If I decide to do that, then I'll do a giveaway for Abby's piece. But then I have to stitch Nuri's. That's my friend Karen from Fox and Rabbit. Tracy Horner Ink Circles, obviously. My friend Amanda May, Ardith Design. Kathy Barrick. I'm not going to not stitch Kathy Barrick's. I love everything about it. This is Lindsay of Counting Puddles. That will shockingly be my first Counting Puddles piece that I stitch, which is ridiculous of me, but there it is. And then to top it all off, this is Christy of Pixel Pixie. And the fact that Christy put words on it, and this is my only one with words on it, I feel like it just sums up the whole piece. So my whole piece, the vibe is, I love the nightlife. So I'm really excited about that. Am I ever going to finish it? Probably not. But you know what? What's the harm in trying? What's the harm in trying? So I'm just putting the I'm putting a link to the X Stitch the Rainbow Night Garden borders on my Flosstube planner so that I can remember to put it on the notes on my Flosstube. So, okay, so that's a whip. And then the next whip, these are out of order because this one came up first, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter. The Stitching Monopoly pulled one time. It rolled for me 2020 Pandemic Sampler. So I'll take it out. It doesn't matter. I was going to go right back to this, but I didn't. So this is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler. and I have it on an 11 by 17 Q snap, and it's really not really the right size for it, but it is what it is. So this is on a piece of 40 count. I think this is Shrinking Violet from Kitten Stitcher. And this is stitched in, it's charted in DMC. This is 2020 Pandemic Sampler by Sarcy Girl. And it's stitched in DMC. It's charted in DMC. I'm stitching it in the Mrs. Sadis silk conversion. So this is the middle. I don't know how I'm going to hold this thing. This is the middle. So I'm halfway done with it. So I would love to finish the other half. I started this March 3rd. I think I started this March 3rd, 2020. So this is an old whip. For this border is so regular. Like once you get going, you can just cruise. So for Monopoly, when it came up, I just stitched the border. I did divide this up for the hashtag Divide and Conquer Sal. And I don't think I posted it, but that's okay. Actually, I did not divide this up. So my friend, Deborah Carroll, she was the first person that I jumped on that divided up cross stitches and said, let's finish a section. If we finish one section per month, then we can finish the thing in 8 months, right? That didn't happen. Deborah finished hers. But I said that, so I finished all the green in the border for section 8. So you can see I finished section 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. I just have 3, 5, and 8 to go. 3 and 8 will stitch up pretty quickly. This house is a mofo. And I know that because this house was a mofo. But if you follow Marjorie Made Stitches on Instagram, you know that Pick-a-Whip for July, one of the prompts is a project with a house or a building. I give you a building. Like it's a house, but that's a big building. And this section is just a little bit touched. So yeah, I'm working on section 8, chugging away. I'd like to put a few more stitches on that because I didn't count what I did for Stitching Monopoly. I think I did the Stitching Monopoly stitching on this. I think I might have done in June. So I don't count that on the July Pick-a-Whip. But I really do love this, and it's beautiful, and Mrs. Sadis silks are really nice to stitch with. I just, I get so distracted. I have so many other things to stitch, and I get so distracted. It's not that I don't love it. Let me show you what I'm distracted by right now. Oh, shoot. What was that? That was the back of my needle minder. Everything in here, literally everything in here is metal. So it's stuck to something. I heard it. Anyway, once again, thanks to Stitching Monopoly, I got to work on my 2 years of tours bell pull. If you thought that you were going to make it through this video without hearing about Le Tour de France, today was stage 8. Forget about it. You might get through the next video. No, you won't. So, Stitching Monopoly called this once? Twice? It doesn't matter. I got to purchase a property on this. So, Giro d'Italia 2024. If you're new here, brace yourself. If you're not new here, you know what's about to happen. This pattern is actually, it's called Vierland Sisters 1, Birdie, and it's from Stitchy Box. I'll link it down below. And my plan for this yard of skinny fabric from Kaylee Tent Stitch is this is 40 count 27.5 shades of gray from Kaylee Tent Stitch at the sewing shop. My plan is to stitch hashtag 2 years of tours on a bell pull. So Giro d'Italia 2024, Tour de France 2024, La Volta a España 2024, then we'll do Giro d'Italia 2025, and then we'll do Tour de France 2025, which we're currently in. But anyway, since the last time you saw it, I love this piece. Since the last time you saw it, I think I was here. This is Premier Tech that won this stage. I stitched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 stages. So the idea behind this is that each day, each motif, this sampler has exactly 21 motifs, which is beautiful because the Grand Tours, there are 3 of them, each have 21 stages, which means they each have 21 stage winners, which means I can modify each motif to look like the jersey of the man who won that stage. So you'll notice some repeats, right? Like this motif and this motif and this motif, even though they're really different shaped, they kind of, like, give me some credit, they look alike. That's, what's the new Pharma team? It's just called Pharma. Now I can't think of their name. Christina's about to tell me, so don't worry. And I think what's really cool, what's starting to become more, Kern Pharma. I think what's starting to become more obvious on this sampler is that, like, this is stage 18, right? So this stage 18 and this stage 18 and this stage 18. Same motif, different teams. The motifs look like the jerseys. Another cool thing that you may or may not see, Christina will, I will, is this is stage 17 of the Giro d'Italia 2024. It was won by a guy from EF Education First. This is stage 17 of Le Tour de France 2024. It was won by a guy from EF Education First. But look at their jerseys. They were different because some teams change jerseys change kits based on the race. Some teams never. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All of those are stages that were won by Team UAE Emirates. 11 of them, not this one. Oh, 13. There's another one. Not these ones. But all 11 of these ones were actually won by the same guy, Tadej Pogačar, who won this race and the King of the Mountains and this race. And I think he's going to win this race. I think he's going to win the Tour again this year, but I don't know. We'll see. My money's on Tadej. I like him a lot. And then the other cool thing is this team right here. This is Team Jumbo-Visma. They're called the Killer Bees. Their jerseys are generally black and yellow. But this year in 2024, they wore an alternate jersey because it's really kind of uncouth to wear the same color as the leader's jersey. So you don't want to wear a yellow jersey in the Tour de France. It's a little bit rude. So this is their normal jersey. That's what their normal jersey looks like. But if you wear that jersey in the Tour de France, you look like you're in the lead. So it looks like there's like 8 or 9 guys per team. So it would look like there were 9 or 10 leaders on any given stage. So Jumbo or Visma, they changed their jersey for this one. Interestingly enough, they did not change their jerseys this year for the Tour. They're Visma Lisa bike, but they have a little bit more black in their jersey. So I think it's okay. But I'm just really excited. I'm plugging away at this. I'm so happy. I love this thing. I love cycling. It's also the women's Giro right now. So Wade and I this morning, we watched the men's Tour de France stage. And then today was the Queen stage of the women's Giro d'Italia. Those women are incredible. Incredible. Riding their bikes up mountains that I would not hike up. Okay? Like, beautiful. 10 out of 10. Amazing. So my goal is to have that finished by the end of the year. I just went through, actually, I'll show you what I do. So I go through and I rechart all of the winners. So I use the alphabet that comes with Birdie. This is the first line of motifs, just so that I have a place of reference. I use the alphabet that comes with Birdie, and I write Giro d'Italia instead of the alphabet, the name of the race, and the guy who won. And then underneath the bottom border, I write the 3 jersey winners. And that's been working out really well to put them like 2 on one line and then 1 on the other. Until I get to the Giro d'Italia, Simon Yates won this year. And the 3 guys that won the other jerseys were Lorenzo Fortunato, Mads Pedersen, and I forgot his first name, but his last name is Pellizzari. I couldn't get any two of those to combine for one row. I couldn't. And then you can see here I'm ready for the Tour de France 2025. I just left these are last year's winners, but I just left the names on because I'll reuse the letters, right? Work smarter, not harder. So very excited about that. Very excited about that. Will I catch up? No. I guarantee you I will not catch up in time for the Giro or for the Tour to end. Outside chance that I catch up in time for La Vuelta this year. That's the last Grand Tour. The Vuelta is the last Grand Tour of the year in Spain. So I love it. I love it. If you also love La Tour, please join Christina and I in stitching a motif per stage. We have so much fun. And if you don't love La Tour, I highly recommend. So right now the stages are live on TNT Sports 1 and you can get them on Peacock. It's like a 5.5 hour commitment to watch the full stage, and they start at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time in the US, most of them, some of them around that time. Watch the commentary afterwards, because a lot of times the announcers in the post show will talk about the strategy. And it's not just like when we first started watching it, it was just about watching people ride their bikes up mountains. That's what we were there for. But now, like, the longer we've been watching them, the more we understand the tactics from the teams and the just more enjoyment we get from it. We started watching actually in the era of He Who Must Not Be Named. And if you are a cycling fan, you know of whom I speak. Mr. Live Strong, but take everyone else around you down because you're a cheater. I don't say his name. So we watched it a lot when he was cycling, and then I got mad and we stopped watching for a while. But then we came back to it when Chris Froome actually got us back into cycling. So I like Froomey. And this is Geraint Thomas's last year. He's 38, I think, or 40. He's an elder statesman in the Tour, and he it's his last tour. He's gonna retire. There's a white jersey winner. This is the last thing, I swear. There's a white jersey winner each year, and that's for the best youngest rider. And I think you have to be under 23 for that classification. It's the white stitches that you can never see. Let me see. It's Pellizzari won it in the Giro. Skelmos won it in the Vuelta. Remco Evenepoel won it last year in the Tour. Tiberi won it in the Giro before that. I think that there should be like a silver jersey, and that's for the best oldest rider. Because the best youngest rider the jersey goes to the highest place rider under that age. So they're usually not quite good enough to win the whole tour because like somebody's just a little bit more seasoned than them, more experienced. It's hard to win a Grand Tour the first year you ride it. It's just, I think it's way different than anything else. But if they had a best oldest rider, it could be like for the best rider over the age of 35 or something like that. I don't know what the age would be. But I would totally bust out my DMC Diamant and stitch those gentlemen's names in silver. I would do it. So, UCI, Tour de France, Giro d'Italia, Vuelta a España. Best oldest rider, please. Someone would sponsor that. Probably a pharmaceutical company, actually. Okay, that's all my stitching. If you're still here, thank goodness. If you're not here, then it doesn't matter. You didn't. If you're still here, laugh with me. So we talked about Pick-a-Whip. Let's talk about plans. It is July, and what that means is Kismet in July. My friend Diana, it is Kismet. Her birthday is December 28th, and that can sometimes be a challenging birthday, right? Because Christmas is 3 days before and New Year's is 3 days after. So in addition to celebrating her on December 28th, she also gets the entire month of July because she's my Diana. So I don't have any Christmas projects anymore. Last Christmas in July, I finished my Christmas in July project, which was Christmas Basket from Fox and Rabbit. So I am going to have a new start because, okay, so this is all going to tie together, trust me. I draw my tarot card every day. A couple of days ago, I drew the death card. And the death card means something big is coming. There's a change, there's an upheaval. It might be good, it might be bad, just like strap in, right? So my friend Aya, she said, you should have a new start every time you draw a death card. And I do, I draw the death card fairly often. She said, you should just make it go completely unhinged and have a new start each time you draw the death card. And I was like, you know me, I was like, done. Say no more. Don't have to tell me twice. Don't threaten me with a good time. So, because I drew the death card, because I don't have a Christmas whip for Christmas in July, because Marjorie Maid's it's a project with the house we're building and a non-summer seasonal project, and I only have one non-summer seasonal project. All of those came together to make me start this. I am going to start Frostbite. This is from Amanda May of Artist Design. Another reason why I'm going to start this, because I adore her. I adore her. Amanda May of Artist Design designed this cute. It's a snowman, but he's a vampire. So Frostbite. Get it? She designed it with Presencia floss, which I've never used. And part of me is like, Michelle, buy the floss, right? You've never used it, so buy the floss. And another part of me is like, well. But I think I'm going to stitch it on like a red fabric, which might be fun. This calls for Witchelt Light Basalt Splash Murano. And that is a great fabric for it because then it looks like little snow thingies. But I'm going to check out the Presencia. If it's not too expensive, this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different Presencia flosses. I feel like it's a treat yourself situation, right? I don't know until I try. Otherwise, totally has the DMC conversion on the back. So, that's what I'm going to start. For Christmas in July and Pick a Whip, and because I love Amanda May and hashtag Death Tarot. What should I hashtag my Death Tarot new start? Hashtag Death Tarot new start? I do like a hashtag. First of all, I know that only millennials use hashtags anymore. They're gone. They're dysfunctional. I don't care. I don't care that only millennials use hashtags. I'm going to continue to use it. So let me know in the comments, what should I hashtag this start? I'm starting it because of the Death Tarot draw. So what should I... Help me out. Help me out. I'm trying to keep myself moderately organized here. And I will link down below, I'll link Amanda May's Instagram, Marjorie Maid as well, and Amanda May. What else? My other plans, I've been designing. All day long today I've been designing, and that's because I'm part of a collaboration that is run by Jenny, who is dyeing for Sass. I will link her down below as well. A lot of you probably know about her flosses. Dyeing for Sass came up with this Cosmo Floss subscription box. And the idea is you sign up for this subscription box, and you can get it for various prices, right? Depending on, this one comes with bobbins. This is just the floss box. So it's every month you get 20 Cosmo flosses, 20 skeins of Cosmo floss, and a small pattern. There's a lot of us designers that are designing them. This one, let me scroll down. This was one of the recent ones. This was by Color Me Amy X Stitch. So in this month, you get the colors you need for this cute little hedgehog and however many more colors until you get to 20. Another one that's been on there is this one by my friend Julia. They did a Hamsa. I love a Hamsa. So you get all the flosses you need to stitch Julia's Hamsa, plus enough to make 20. There's a couple more on here. So this one is from the Stitch Crypt, right? So you get their flosses, plus more. If you're in it every month, then, and this was the first one, this was Dyeing for Sass. This was Jenny's design. Die mad about it. So if you're in the club every month, then you will end up with the entire Cosmo set after it's done. Now, we are currently in month, 10. So I think you're a fair few flosses behind. But And I don't know when they open. So you have to, the boxes that come with bobbins are more expensive, but your basic box is $37.50, and you can click this, put your email in, and say notify me when available. So I'll link that Crate Joy Cosmo Floss subscription. I'll link that down below so that you can get it if you want it. Oh, why did I talk about that? Because I'm finishing up my design right now, which comes out in the September box. So I've been working on that all day. It's done. I just have to, I'm in the overwork stage, right? So I've been working on it all day and working it and working it and working it. And now I'm at the walk away stage, and then I will come back to it and it will be beautiful. So, that's my process. Like, I work it and work it and work it until it's done, until it's like overdone. And then I walk away and I stitch a little, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, why was I working this so hard? It's done. Or I'm like, this is terrible, and I scrap it. It's nothing in between. It's either done or it's terrible. Okay. Plans. Those were my plans. I talked about my earrings. What did I buy? So I didn't actually buy anything, but what did I get in the mail? A lot of really good stuff. I am in the Stitchy Box Flower Silk Silk of the Month Club. And this is also linked down below. And every month, Liz curates and sends a 4-skein set. I believe this is July. I threw the thing away again without looking. I'm not going to go diving in my rubbish bin for it. But look at these. How beautiful. So this is from her Threads of Myth and Legend collection. This is Demeter's Harvest. And then this red is called Crown Imperial. These are 8-yard skeins. This one is called Heart Moth, and I'm really glad that she sent this one this month because I used this in my D's 20 Stitches series. I forgot what the series is called. But I use this in my D's 20 Stitches series, and I will run out. So Heart Moth. And then this one is called Honeysuckle. It's this beautiful, soft petal yellow. This is like the inside. There were some really pretty lilies on campus yesterday when we went to pick up Rosie from volleyball camp. This is like the inside of those lilies, and I don't have that one yet. So that's the normal subscription. And then I can't remember if it's every quarter. Wait, I left it's every 4 months. So it's every quarter. May, June, July, August. I don't know. It's every 4 months. Your every 4-month bonus gift is a special colorway of flower silk, only available to Flower Silk Club members first. This, for the second 4 months of 2025, is called Hummingbird. And that's gorgeous. I obviously don't have that yet because it just came out, but how beautiful is that? So I love Stitchy Box Silk. I love Stitchy Box Silk. So that's my, this is August. No, this is June. I don't know what month it is. What hell if I know? This is a month. And this is the May through August extra. I gotta find something beautiful to stitch with that. This just makes me think of my friend Danielle. I feel like those are just her colors. So, all right. That's the one thing I got from Stitchy Box. The other thing I got from Stitchy Box is, this is great. Let me show you this. So Liz just came out with a new collection. It's called the Iris collection. Let me, hold on. Let's see. A lot of people have their Instagram that starts with Stitchy. So Stitchy Box Iris collection, right here. There's 12 variegated colorways based on Liz's existing semi-solids. So they pair up easily. And you can get them individually or as a set. And she said just click on the Iris collection banner on the front page. So here is the Iris collection. It's beautiful. There's a 12 skein set. It comes in either 8 yards or 24 yards, which is nice. or you can get them individually. And they're named after, Liz loves to name things after Greek myth figures from Greek and Roman myths. So let me just show you all of them. And then first, actually, let me show you, Liz partnered with a friend of hers, and all of, you might have seen that all of these have this logo, this lady here, she's Iris. So there's also a bag that you can get that has Iris on it. And then there's all of these gorgeous silks. So are you ready? We're going to go through them. This is Achilles. They're so good. Achilles. I'm also a sucker for the naming of after the Greek gods and goddesses. This is Hestia. And Hestia works pretty well with Demeter. I don't think they were besties, but they can work together, right? Look at, this is what I mean. Like, Liz said they go with the semi-solids, but they also go with the variegateds. So, okay. Achilles, Hestia, Icarus, right? Because he flew too close to the sun. So it's got the yellow. This is Circe, which I kind of love, like the greenish kind of like, because Circe wasn't happy. She wasn't. She was not happy. Medusa. Love this one. I can't wait to design with these. Liz said, you got to just design me something. And I said, I will. Yes. They're so bright. They're so beautiful. I will be adding one, whatever I design, I'll be throwing in some bat orchid because every design needs a little dark color to balance it. This is Tyche. I don't know who Tyche is. Maybe one of the muses. If someone knows. If someone knows, throw it in the comments. Let me know. This is Calypso. Gorgeous. I can only think of the Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean, though. This is Amphitrite. I don't know what Amphitrite was. I keep guessing that everyone, maybe one of the muses. I don't know what Amphitrite. I don't know who Amphitrite. Maybe she was a nymph. Anyway, let me know if you know, because I don't know. This is Hermes. I know Hermes. I like that variegation a lot. This is Pythia. I wish I knew. I don't think Pythia is one of the muses. Watch Pythia be a muse and the other one's not. I don't think she was. I do love this, though. I feel like this is the kind of like green, or like green, like blue to plum variegation that we don't always get. I like that blue to plum. This is Narcissus, who is now a flower. Also the reason we got the word narcissist. Narcissus, the original narcissist, right? And last but not least, Medea. And what I love about this is it's like angry, right? And then it also, let me see. You know how good I am at this, right? It like comes full circle. So this is the order that I showed them in. But you could easily break them up any which way. Like Medea works down at the other end next to Achilles. So it's like a continuous, it just keeps going. So I love this set. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Buy one, buy 12. If you haven't tried Stitchy Box Silk, I'm not even going to lie. You're missing out. You can totally stitch without it. I'm not trying to be a brat. You will not regret getting Stitchy Box Silk. I'm going to go out on a limb. I like Stitchy Box Silk better than I like Gloriana Silk. And that's a big deal. I'm just fixing the, I'm fixing the link for the Iris collection. It was the exact same. Awesome. Okay, I think the only thing I have left is the giveaway. Last time, this was the giveaway. This was the giveaway last time. I said that twice in different ways. And I didn't make a Google form. So this time I made a Google form. I already linked it. So it's down there. Hopefully you can fill it out. Sometimes some people have problems filling out my Google forms. If that's you, slide into my DMs on Instagram and I will put your name on the Google form. It's not an issue. If you win this from me, I would love to see you turn that USA flag into a pride flag. Then be proud would be nice. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below, would you turn that USA flag into a pride flag? And if so, which pride flag are you making it? Because I think you could move this little bee a little bit, and you could easily make like one more row, because a lot of the pride flags have 3 colors. You could easily make one more row and extend it out a little bit and make it a little bit more conducive to that. So fill out the Google form if you'd like me to send this to you. I'll just send it to you in the mail. No problem. This time I actually have the Google form, so it'll actually happen. And I think that's all the stitching. If I forgot anything, c'est la vie. I'm going to take a short pause. If you are only here for the stitching, then thank you for also hanging out for the Tour de France talk. I'm going to talk about one book and my tarot deck. And if you don't like to hang out for that, totally cool. I'll see you in a fortnight. Which I think is July 26th. I'll see you on July 26th or shortly thereafter. If you do like the tarot part, then hang out for just a few minutes and I will talk about tarot and talk about the book that I just started. Okay, we're back. That was literally like 2 seconds. I just go whoosh, whoosh, to give people a chance to leave. But I have been pulling from this. I've actually relaxed a lot on my tarot. I've allowed myself to sleep a little bit longer in the morning. So instead of getting up at 4, I get up at 4:35. I find myself waking up at like 4:25, which tells me that I've gotten enough sleep. I'm not waiting for my alarm to wake me up, which is good. But all that to say, that extra half an hour is a lot of time that I spent to pull a tarot card in the morning. So sometimes I'm just taking a shower, pouring my cup of coffee, and walking out the door. So I've been less strict about a tarot card every single day, but I still find it very enjoyable. So lately I've been pulling from this deck. This is the Mind's Eye Tarot by Olivia Rose. I think I first saw this deck when Miriam, my friend Miriam, was using it. And I talked about it, and my friend Liz, Stitching Liz, sent me the deck. The box is beautiful. So, let me not drop all the cards. This is the box. It's like it's a bigger than average box, and they nestle in there. And then this book is huge. It doesn't have a ton of information about each card, but it does have a big full color picture of each card, which is really, it's a nice book. So I'm going to shuffle. I haven't shuffled yet. Usually I draw the card. I think I draw the card before I get to this part. I don't rightly remember. But this deck also has a really nice shuffle. Some of my decks are a little bit large and the cards are a little bit heavier. I love the feel of those cards, but they don't shuffle well. And then I have some decks that the cards are very shiny and slippery, or shiny and sticky, and they don't shuffle well because everything sticks together. But this deck has a great, like your bicycle playing cards. This card has that kind of surface, so they just shuffle like a dream. And usually I just do a couple of like bridge shuffles, and then I shuffle like this until a card either falls out or sticks out really far. Or if I do it 5 or 6 times and nothing like that happens, then I'll just cut it and draw one. I got the 4 of Pentacles. Hold on. Let me set those down nicely. I got the 4 of Pentacles. I don't remember what this card is about, but I just love the art in this deck too. It's beautiful. So let's look it up and read about the card, shall we? The 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles. Okay. The figure shown here is caressing and protecting the pentacles, her hair long and veil-like, keeping the things she wishes to protect close. The 4 of Pentacles is a card that shows overprotectiveness and greed, guarding something so much that it stops you from being able to move freely in your life or enjoy what you have. Upright meaning is materialism, stability, greed, and hoarding. Yikes. So maybe this card is saying, like, don't be so precious, or not don't be so precious, but be on the lookout for. I think very rarely does a card say, don't do this, or do this. But how I read them is I say, like, be on the lookout for areas that you're being greedy, or be on the lookout for areas that you're being overprotective. Like, can you loosen that grip? Can you share a little bit? That's what I'm getting from this card. That's what I'm taking from it. So, good reminder. Can't think of anything right now, but that doesn't mean there's nothing, right? Did I did I eat the last of the ice cream? It could be as simple as that, right? It could be as simple as, did I eat the last of the ice cream and not share? No, I did not. Because I don't eat very much of the ice cream, to be totally fair and honest. Wade and Rosie like ice cream more than I do. Okay, my book. My book. Where'd it go? Oh, and I'll link the deck down below where you can get it. So I just started listening to Trail of the Lost, The Relentless Search to Bring Home the Missing Hikers of the Pacific Crest Trail. This is by Andrea Lankford. Andrea Lankford was a park ranger at Grand Canyon for a long time. And then she got burnt out and she went back to school and she became a nurse. And she was part of the search and rescue team at Grand Canyon. And she was really good at it. She was really good at wilderness rescue and recovery. And she was inspired by the stories. Once she was on to her second career, she was still an avid hiker. She did the Appalachian Trail. She was inspired by the story of 3 hikers who were lost, like lost, on the Pacific Crest Trail, the PCT. It's like 2,600 miles from Mexico to Canada, if you watch the movie Wild with Reese Witherspoon, Cheryl Strayed, that's the same trail, right? She hiked the Pacific Crest Trail. So, prior to 2015, according to Andrea Lankford in this book, prior to 2015, there were multiple people who got lost on the trail or died on the trail, right? Prior to 2015, most of the people who died on the trail were found, so they knew why they died. A lot of it was exposure, lack of water, or too much water. There wasn't really a lot of foul play. It was like slipped on ice and fell down a ravine, or ran out of water and dehydrated, or tried to cross a stream that was flooded and got swept away. So like those kind of things. But then in 2015 to 2017, there were 3 hikers that went completely missing. Not a trace. That's not true. Some traces, but they just couldn't find them. And they were all like young guys about the same age. And so the premise of this book is she's on this quest to find these 3. Not to recover them necessarily, because we all know, right? By the time this book was written, we all know that they're gone. But to find them, to figure out what happened to them. I'm only 15, or like I'm 5% into the book, but I think it's going to be really good. This was recommended to me by a friend. It's part of a dark book club. I forgot. Now I wish I knew. I think it came up in the Twitch stream last week, 2 weeks ago. It's part of a macabre book club that's on Instagram. It's hosted by somebody. So if you know what I'm talking about, please drop it down below in the comments so that I can see it and link it, and that other people can see it too. Some of the dark book club stuff is about serial killers. I don't really like to read about serial killers because I don't like to glorify them. I think it's awful. But I do like stuff like this, right? Like missing persons. I don't love true crime, but I do love missing persons. And I also love things like, I love reading about the history of like, if you want to hear some really macabre history, read about the dye that was used to dye clothes green in Victorian times. That green dye literally made people crazy. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in. Like, not so much the serial killers. So I'm not in the book club, but I checked it out, and this was the one that they just read, and I think it's going to be really good. The author says right up front, she thought for sure she would find them, and she didn't find what she was looking for. She found some things and found some things that she wasn't looking for, but she didn't complete her goal, but she decided to write the book anyway. So, we'll see. I've been going on a lot of walks. At work, I go on walks with my assistant manager, but I've been spending more time with my audiobook, so hopefully I'll be able to finish it. It expires in 9 days, so I gotta get listening to that book. But I think that's all I've got. So thank you for hanging out. If you hung out for the tarot card and the book, let me know if you've read Trail of the Lost, or if you know what the heck I'm talking about with that macabre book club. Heck, if I can find it again. Cannot. And thank you for hanging out. I will see you in 2 weeks. And thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate y'all being here.